Are you ready to get sexy calf muscles? If your answer is yes, then these 6 moves are just what you need. I'm Samantha Clayton, Director of Fitness Education at Herbalife, and I want to help you achieve a healthy, active life. It's time to stop ignoring your lower legs and spend a little time toning your calves. If you've already warmed up, then join me for some lower leg shaping moves. Let's start out with ankle flexibility. So we simply just want to stand on one leg, put one leg out front and do some nice foot circles just to loosen off your ankles and lower calf muscles. So start out rotating one side and then switch to the other side. You can do these while you're sat at your desk or wherever you are. Just gets the blood circulating and really helps to just loosen off. You can flex back and forth, or you can make little tiny circles. And then make sure that you always switch sides. The great thing about doing it standing is that you're stood on one leg, so you're working on your balance. So going one way and then the other, then flex a few times. And then our first move is really simple. We're just going to do a seated calf raise. So you're going to have to sit down on a chair or a bench. First things first, always think about your posture. Shoulders are back, core is tight, feet are out in front, nice right angle at the knee. And all you're going to do is simply just come up onto your toes, lifting your heels off the floor, and then put your heels back down. So lift up and then back down. So you just want to focus on making sure that your heels just come directly up. It's very easy for us to think about heels coming out, or I want you to really focus on your posture. Heels up and heels down. And then when you're ready to make this a little bit more difficult, you can add in some weight and do it one leg at a time. So put the weight on one knee, lift up and back down. So doing seated calf raises is fantastic for working the lower part of your calf muscle, which is called the soleus, and it really helps to tone up that area. So you want to do about 10 on each side. Always make sure that you work each side evenly. And then we're going to come back up to standing and go into a plank walkout position and really stretch out the calves and work on flexibility. So feet are just slightly wider than shoulders width apart. You're slowly going to come down. This is great for stretching out the hamstrings. Walk out into plank position. And then all we're going to do is you're going to push slightly back from plank and then just slowly walk your heels towards the floor. So knee comes towards the floor and heel comes towards the floor. And then you're really going to feel that stretching out. The further you push your heel towards the floor, the more you'll feel it high up in your calf muscle, closer to the back of the knee. So you can stop, come back into plank, and then push back. And again, walk out. You can do 10 to 20 walkouts, just whatever feels comfortable for you. Come back into plank, and then slowly walk back up. And then our next move we're just going to do a simple calf raise. We're going to start out with single leg calf raises again to work on the balance. So place your hands on your hips, or if you're new to exercising, you can always hold onto a chair. But all you're going to do is simply come up onto your toes and then lower back down onto the heel. Always trying to sneak in a little core work by working your balance. So you want to do about 10 raises on one side, and then switch and do 10 raises on the other. So you'll notice that your foot may wobble a little, and that's okay. It just means all the little stabilizer muscles are working hard to keep you stable. So it's a great exercise for the small muscles in your foot, the ones that get ignored. Okay, and then we're going to switch sides and do the same on the other side. Again, find your balance first and then lift up. So again, while doing this, I want you to really focus that as you're lifting up onto the ball of your foot, that your heel's coming directly up behind you. I have a tendency on one side that my heel wants to come in towards the inside, but I want to work the calf muscle really balanced. And so I'm going to focus the whole time on the heel coming up and then back down. So this really increases the resistance. Whenever you do anything on one leg, it's harder for your legs to work, so that's great. We can make this a tiny bit harder by grabbing onto a weight, and you could start out doing both legs, or you could, again, just go single leg. Great job. So our next exercise is a great medicine ball move. So grab a medicine ball, a soccer ball, just whatever you can find that'll work for you. It's really wonderful exercise for really stretching out the calf and engaging the muscles and tendons in the foot. So you're basically just going to roll the ball in towards your body and then roll it out to the heel, back in onto the toe. So out to the heel, back in onto the toe. So you'll really feel as you pull your toe towards your shin, you're going to feel that stretch down the back of your calf muscle and then coming up onto the toe. Now if you wanted to make this a tiny bit harder, put your hands on your hips. As the toe comes in, come up onto the other toe and back out. See how I'm coming up on one side? So I'm stretching out one side of my body while working the other. If your balance isn't great, you can always hold onto a chair, hold onto a wall. And you can do this with even the smallest of balls, just so long as that you're really working on getting that flexion and extension. So you're going to switch sides. Again, start out, heel to toe. I can really feel my core starting to work as I engage that other side. Of these moves, maybe 10 of each is perfect. 10 on one side, 10 on the other, and then we'll switch to our next move. So my next move is one of my kids' favorite. We call it bunny jumps. You can give your heart rate a little rise while working the muscles in the calves, making them do some hard work. So what I want you to do is feet a hip distance apart. You're gonna squat down a tiny bit and we're gonna do bunny jumps. You're just gonna jump up and down. So you want to kind of cushion your landing, but really work on propelling your weight up using the calf muscles. Again, you want to do about 10 of these, but you want to always make sure you're fully warmed up before you do any jumping moves. So really point your toes. So sit down, point the toes on the way up. You can even do these on the move. We can jump forward too, and back to really engage the core. So let's finish off with a stretch. Pretend that there's a wall in front of you. Take a step forward. As if you are pushing on the wall, you want to be pushing your heel down behind you, but then add a slight bend in the knee because that really hits the soleus muscle. And so this routine is what I call a focused routine. And whenever you push an individual muscle group to work hard with back-to-back exercises focused in one area, it can leave you with a little soreness the next day. But if you're new to exercise or if you've been ignoring your calves, I suggest simply picking one or two of your favorites from this routine and adding them to your current fitness routine. I hope you enjoyed my Shapely Calves workout. I understand that it's so easy to ignore the muscles that you can't see in the mirror. And if you're a girl who wears heels, you know that your calf muscles can feel fatigued at the end of a long day. Are there any other muscle groups you think we ignore? Share your thoughts with me in the comments section and I will plan a workout to ensure no muscle is left unworked.